Hello friends, pleasure is always mine to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Today's edition of News Daily, we're going to talk about Accra House of Folk, talk about the Black Stars and other few things that you need to know. If it's your first time here, hit on the subscription button and let's build this community together. So we start off from the camp of Accra House of Folk, where they have officially announced a head coach, and they managed to announce a head coach after playing the CAF Confederations Cup, and a lot of fans don't understand, but now they have a head coach. So Accra House of Folk has officially announced the appointment of Serbian tactician Slasko Matic as the club's new head coach with immediate effect. Matic takes over the reins of the Phobians from Samuel Bodo, who mutually parted ways with the club earlier in the month following an abysmal start to the 2022-2023 season. The 46-year-old holds a UEFA Pro license and has vast experience having managed clubs in Europe and in Asia. He will be in charge of Hearts for the next 2 years. Matic became unattached few weeks ago after an unpleasant start to the 2022-2023 season. Matic played 29 matches in charge of the club, where he claimed 12 wins, drew 7, and lost 10 times since taking over in January. The former Serbian defender has been in Ghana for negotiations and other familiarities since last Thursday. It was obvious that he was the one going to be in charge of Accra House of Folk after they appointed Okulu. We all knew that Okulu was going to be the assistant coach, but now House of Folk has a new manager. It's good for stability. I would have wished that his appointment would have come earlier before the CAF Confederations Cup, but I think it's better late than never. Now Accra House of Folk have a manager now, and the fans will be happy after getting a manager. And I say that we're going to see how good he can be. He has experience. He has coached in a lot of clubs, both in Europe, coached in China, coached in Qatar, coached in Asia. But this will be his first time coaching in Africa, and I think House of Folk has enough resources for him to succeed. Still at Accra House of Folk announcing the head coach in the press conference, Otto Addo, who is the majority shareholder and the chairman of the board, went into the defense of Alhaji Akambi and Vincent Odoto. Those two board members at Accra House of Folk have been under fire after the club failed to qualify in the CAF Confederations Cup. I understand that some of the fans were looking for Odoto and Alhaji Akambi. They ended up destroying a part of their cars, and Otto Addo. Accra House of Folk fans basically were expecting Otto Addo to maybe sack them from the board. But from Otto Addo's comments in a press conference, he had indicated clearly the importance of Alhaji Akambi and Vincent Odoto, I should say, and the job that they've been doing for him. According to him, basically, like everything he said means that, Charlie, they know they go anywhere. So Accra House of Folk fans, tighten your seatbelts and deal with them. So let's listen to what the majority shareholder, who is Otto Addo, said about Alhaji Akambi and Vincent Odoto.
Somebody is not a regular employee. Somebody is not on salary. As a chief, one of the biggest challenges I have is having people work for the community selflessly and without expectation of remuneration. Here I have somebody doing business activity, Accra House of Folk, without remuneration and spending all his time. The successes of 2021, 22 on the pitch. What we are doing at Bobbyman Commercial Center, suppose the Liaison office and the new head office building would never have been possible without the dedication of these two gentlemen. I've not been to Bobbyman for a very long time, but I can picture in my mind's eyes what is happening there by 8 of the videos that he sent to me. That is a reality.
Well, House of Folk fans, now you know. Drink chilled water and deal with Alhaji Akambi and Ojote, because the man who basically called the short things, they are good enough and they are not going away. I'm going to end with a story about Otto Addo. If you have not heard of it, it hasn't been in the news for a while, but if you have not heard of it, I just want to re-echo it for you. So Otto Addo has hinted that he would not continue as the head coach of the Black Stars. I think a lot of people have complained about the fact that he is doing the Black Stars job on part-time basis and whether he would quit working with Dortmund and come and coach the Black Stars. But in an interview that was published by a lot of multiple reports, it's obvious that Otto Addo has indicated that he does not think he's going to stay in Ghana. So according to him, he believes that as the head coach of a country, you need to live in the country. But according to Otto Addo, he feels he will not spend a lot of time in Ghana in the next few years. Hence, it will be more difficult for him to be the head coach. Let me quote him. Otto Addo says, I think as a national team coach, you should also live in the country you work for in a long term. But I see myself personally in Germany in the next few years. Clearly tells you that Otto Addo don't see himself spending a lot of time in Ghana because he's purely a German boy and he would love to stay in Germany and work with Borussia Dortmund. Maybe he loves what he's doing so much that he does not want the pressure of being the first team head coach. And internationally speaking, coaching the Black Stars, Charlie, is a job on its own. It's a huge job that if you are young, if you're not somebody who loves taking risk, you will not consider. So I think Otto Addo says he might leave his role as head coach of the Black Stars. But I think Otto Addo is doing something like he's trying to set himself up not to be maybe like bashed or insulted much when Ghana fails to perform at the World Cup. But I think maybe he might change his mind when Ghana manages to go all the way to the semi-finals. Maybe at that point he would feel he should consider maybe taking this job serious. Let's see what happens in the World Cup. But so far, Otto Addo says he might step down as the head coach of the Black Stars, and it's obvious that Chris Hughton might take charge. Also Hasselhoff now has a new head coach in the person of Matic. A lot of Serbian coaches really come here a lot, so it's normal to have a Serbian in Ghana. I think they understand our system well. And also, Toby Afede has indicated that Charlie, Alaja Kambi and Vincent Odotoy, they are not going anywhere. Odotoy, I should say, they are not going anywhere. They are going to stay in Accra, folks. So that's the end of today's edition of News Daily. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But if you love what we do, please hit on the subscription button and let's build this community together. But until we meet again, bye-bye for now.